20th day of October 2022. I hope and trust you've had a memorable Mashujaa Day. It is the 20th day of October 2022. I hope and trust you've had a memorable Mashujaa Day. A very good evening to you and welcome to Hope TV News Watch. My name is Kennedy Kimani and Boniface Muriithi will be assisting with the sign language interpretation. Now, President William Ruto has said it is time farmers stopped focusing on rain-based agriculture due to its unpredictable nature as witnessed in the past 3 years, where the country has witnessed low rainfall that has affected food security in the country. Speaking during the Mashujaa Day celebrations, President Ruto said his government has planned short-term, medium-term and long-term strategies to enhance food security. Among the plans include improved access to affordable fertilizer, access to good quality seeds and construction of dams for irrigation. Grace Wangui begins our bulletin with the following story.
Part of President William Ruto's administration's plan to solve the food insecurity crisis currently plaguing the country continues with the supply of subsidized fertilizer as part of the government's short-term goals to ensure farmers are able to produce high yields of food crops for the country. However, the short-term goal is not the only goal, as President Ruto also outlined his government's plan to partner with neighboring East Africa Community (EAC) countries for production of even cheaper fertilizer, as well as construction of dams for irrigation.
We are working on innovative investment mechanisms through public-private partnership to construct at least 100 dams. Consequently, it would be possible to progressively irrigate the 3 million acres already identified as irrigable land.
Another highlight in Dr. Ruto's maiden national celebration address was on healthcare. The president pledged to uplift the country's healthcare system through the Universal Healthcare Plan. The focus will be on preventive and promotive strategies that will see to it that critical illnesses including cancer, heart complications, kidney failure and hypertension are detected and addressed early.
We want to lift, and we must, this punitive burden from the shoulders of Kenyans and their businesses through our Universal Healthcare Plan. The plan is to revitalize primary healthcare by laying more emphasis on preventive and promotive strategies. Many critical health illnesses, including cancer, heart complications, kidney failure, and hypertension, can be detected and addressed at this level without the need for hospital visit or admission.
At the same time, the president has directed investigations into incidences whereby police officers have been accused of extrajudicial murder, saying that he had effected changes in the National Police Service, NPS, to ensure its independence. Dr. Ruto at the same time confirmed the disbandment of Special Services Unit in the Directorate of Criminal Investigations that was announced by Acting Inspector General of Police, Noor Gabo.
I believe we can keep this country safe and secure without tormenting our people. We can efficiently and effectively suppress crime, monitor and disrupt and apprehend criminals without abducting, torturing, killing, or causing citizens to disappear.
The Hustler Fund topic also played out during the celebrations, with President Ruto promising that the fund will be made available on 1st December 2022. Additionally, President Ruto promised that 4 million borrowers who had been blacklisted for defaulting will be freed from CRB in the coming days.
Safaricom, and I want to thank them, and their financial partners have brought down the cost of Fuliza by reducing interest rates by 50%. As part of that agreement, 4 million borrowers who had been blacklisted will be freed from the yoke of Credit Reference Bureau in the coming days. We have also secured an agreement with CRBs that they will abandon the punitive penalty of blacklisting borrowers and move to a credit scoring system that makes borrowers eligible for credit even as they work to improve their credit worthiness.
Grace Wangoi for Hope TV News Watch.
Thank you so much, Grace, for that report. Now, President William Ruto has today presided over the Mashujaa Day celebrations at the newly refurbished Uhuru Gardens, his first national event since he was sworn in. Kenyans made their way to Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi as early as 6 a.m. for the Mashujaa celebrations. Now, despite the low turnout, the celebrations continued as scheduled. Michelle Makau with more on the story.
I also wish to congratulate all the elected leaders in the just concluded elections and remind them that it is time to deliver. We cannot afford to waste a single minute. We know Kenyans are suffering, and no more talk. It is now time to work. Your Excellency, allow me to most sincerely thank the people of Kenya for exercising their constitutional right to vote, but more importantly, upholding peace before, during, and after the elections. Kenya is a mature democracy, and indeed our great nation is back as an island of peace. Irrespective of our political differences, it is time to work and deliver. We are all Kenyans. This is our nation, and we are rising together. This is the freedom our forefathers fought for. This is the freedom Kenyans voted for. No more room for pain and suffering. Indeed, Mr. President, the real freedom is here with us today.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that report. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has challenged elected leaders to prove their worth by delivering on their pledges. While addressing Kenyans during the Mashujaa Day celebrations at Uhuru Gardens, DP Gachagua urged the leaders to work together in order to improve the standards of living for all Kenyans, adding that Kenyans are suffering.
Sisi kama watu wa Machakos tumeamua tutafanya na serikali ya William Samoei Ruto. He is the president of the Republic of Kenya. Yeah, ndio president. Na sisi tumekuja hapa kuwa support. Si ndio? Nyinyi ndio macho yake. Nyinyi ndio macho yake. Sisi tutatembea na nyinyi. Na nyinyi hamtasikia mahali sisi tutagwarana na nyinyi. Hapana. We are going to make it by being peaceful and working together and respecting each person's position. We have the national government in the county. We have to respect their position and work with them. We are the county government. They will have to respect our position and work with us. But the bottom line, we have to work together as a team. If we want, we are all Kenyans.
Elsewhere, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has promised to continue working in collaboration with the national government to fulfill her promises to the people of Machakos County. Speaking in Machakos town while attending Mashujaa Day celebrations, Wavinya has called on political leaders to allow the current government to serve Kenyans.
By dawn, Kenyans had started trooping into Uhuru Gardens to take part in the Mashujaa celebrations. President William Ruto arrived at 11:05 a.m. accompanied by the First Lady Rachel Ruto at the feat, which was his first public national event as head of state. Kenyans chanted as the president made an entrance at the Uhuru Gardens for this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations. Among other dignitaries in attendance were Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, a key principal in the Azimio la Umoja coalition. Miguna, who has been away from the country following his deportation to Canada, who arrived this morning in Kenya, also attended the Mashujaa celebrations. The president was escorted to the ceremonial vehicle by the chief of the Defense Forces, and after greeting Kenyans, he mounted the ceremonial dais. After the national anthem and the East African Community anthem was sung, he proceeded and inspected the guard of honor. Kenyans were treated to an exciting performance from artists booked for the event. The guests attending the event also received a sensational performance from various traditional and modern artists. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja gave a brief speech and welcomed the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who made his remarks and called upon all Kenyans to make a contribution every day in a simple way, for it matters.
It is time to work and deliver. We are all Kenyans. This is our nation, and we are rising together. This is the freedom our forefathers fought for.
The president's speech touched on several issues including governance, the economy, food security, and internal security matter. Michelle Macau, Hope TV Newswatch, Nairobi.
Away from that, controversial lawyer Miguna arrived back in the country on Thursday morning after almost 4 years in exile. Miguna jetted at JKIA from Canada at 6 a.m. and lauded his supporters whom he said have stood with him during the difficult period. Miguna was deported in 2018 for his role in the mock swearing-in of ODM party leader Raila Odinga as the people's president following the contentious 2017 polls.
I'm extremely happy to be back home. I extend my gratitude to all Kenyans who have stood with me, who have stood with the Bill of Rights in the Constitution, who have stood with the cause of justice, who have stood with the dictates of democracy, who have stood with the principles of the rule of law. I would like to extend my gratitude to the judiciary that stood firm on the side of the rule of law. I must extend my gratitude to Kenyans that voted overwhelmingly for the Kenya Kwanza government, because that is central for me. Without this administration, I would not be back home. So I am thanking His Excellency the President, the Deputy President and his administration, and everybody else who has worked tirelessly to make sure that my rights are protected and the rights of every other Kenyan. What has happened to me should never have happened to anyone else. A Kenyan-born citizen cannot be discarded, removed forcefully from the country, and banished in a foreign land.
Now, the third CITAM Business Forum, dubbed CBF Conference 2022, kicked off in earnest at CITAM Karen on Thursday, with hundreds of exhibitors taking up space to display their wares and engage with various delegates and seasoned business leaders in plenary. CITAM presiding Bishop Callisto Odede commissioned the delegates to engage and network in the three-day forum that ends on Saturday. Faith Imani Mugo attended the opening of CBF Conference 2022 and filed for us the following story.
Ignite in our spirit that which is possible in you.
The Enriching and Engaging CBF Conference 2022, now in its third edition, kicked off at CITAM Karen with Dr. Edmund Chan, the founder of the Global Alliance of Intentional Disciple-Making Churches in Singapore, exhorting the delegates to remain focused on their business agenda. In his message titled Keys to Cultivating the Entrepreneurial Spirit, Dr. Chan called on the delegates to be focused and reliable.
What's your zeal, enthusiasm, passion, life, inspiration? Zeal is an energy word. Then you have to discern what drains you and what energizes you. You see, leaders don't just manage their time, they manage their energies.
Speaking on the sidelines of the conference, the CBF patron Reverend Dr. Jacob Kimathi stated that businesses are great areas of service to God using the God-given resources. He lauded the government for helping young people to start off businesses and encouraged them to tag along to be able to connect with other business people during the conference.
This is the right time for business. Every business person need to strategize and position themselves so that they can benefit from the loans that the government is giving and they can be able to do business. We have great networks. You come around, talk to people, you will get networks, and that will take you to your next level in business. Please find your way.
On his part, Deacon David Kitul in the CITAM Business Committee called on the delegates to embrace the lessons they glean from the conference to enable them manage their businesses differently and in the Lord's way.
Quite a number of exhibitors, over 200 exhibitions are taking place here today. Number one, you'll be able to learn how to manage your business successfully. You are learning how to raise capital for your businesses. We are learning from excellent speakers on how to carry out and plan for succession for your business. The business should never end when you end or when you expire. Neither should it have problems at some stage.
CITAM regional overseers present called on their members who are missing out on the conference to ensure they come along in the remaining 2 days to benefit greatly for what God is doing in the conference. They said it is time to radiate God's glory through the businesses God has given them.
The Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we are here seeking for knowledge and for understanding and from wisdom from the great speakers.
And I have learned that I need to never to live behold my income. I must learn how to manage my costs and how to increase my income.
I am sure we are going to do it big way because of just the information we are getting. I for sure have learned quite a bit. And the first statement that was said this morning that I'm just carrying home is just clarity. To be clear, what is your mission? What's your purpose? What is it you are in to do?
CBF conference planning team member Sarah Kajuju expressed their excitement on the way the conference is unfolding.
We expected the numbers that we have, but I think it was a bit overwhelming because many more still needed space. Yeah, and we have amazing speakers still on. This was expected, and we are awaiting to see even tomorrow as it unfolds. Dr. Edmund Chan spoke this morning, and he was amazing.
Corporates were also present, such as Absa Bank, with the head of SMEs banking, Susan Situma, also commending the conference, saying it is a forum to help business entrepreneurs to access new markets as they partner with the like-minded partners who seek growth.
Business people across Kenya and actually across different countries. For us, it's really a good conference for you to attend if you're an entrepreneur. It's a place where you can learn from other people's experiences, get inspired, network, connect, access new markets, because I've seen quite a number of exhibitors here. And as title sponsors for this conference, I think for us it is just partnering with like-minded partners like CITAM.
The international delegates were also present. We spoke with Felix Finca from Romania, who said the business in Romania was greatly slowed by the Ukrainian war, adding that the conference has been an eye-opener, giving him great lessons from which he plans to take back to Romania.
The business in Romania at this point, it's a bit challenging because of the Ukrainian war. In many ways, the Romanian economy is connected to the Ukrainians because we are neighbors, and we used to import a lot of raw materials from there. But we are trusting God that we are going to have a breakthrough over this. If we have already passed over COVID pandemics, I'm sure that after war all things will go back and God is reigning.
Faith Imani Mugo for Hope TV Newswatch.
Now it's time for a quick breather here on Hope TV Newswatch. After that story by Faith Imani Mugo, I'll be back with more stories after this short break, including also a feature by the one and only Faith Imani. See you on the other side.
Every Friday at 11 a.m. on Hope Junction, we play the latest jams.
You're changing my altitude. My heart is yours. For you alone, for you alone.
Plus your requests. If your favorite song tells your story better, let the whole world hear it.
Thousands of people throng cities every single day looking for opportunities to make their lives better. They are employees, business owners, or just opportunity seekers desiring to have a breakthrough in their lives. Join me, DM Tanki, as we take this journey from the perspective of different successful entrepreneurs and corporate employees on Occupy Today, every Sunday from 8 p.m. exclusively on Hope TV. Look and live.
Welcome back. Now, with Christianity being the largest religion in the country has made milestone in regard to reaching out to the unreached people groups. This has taken some of the missionaries from the reached groups going to the partially reached on unreached groups. Our very own Faith Imani Mugo accompanied missionaries in Marsabit and brings us the following feature story.
Kenya has around 109 people groups in total, and out of that number, 32 of them, equating to 29.4%, are not reached or are partially reached with the gospel. And with a total population of 56,171,000, about 5,416,000 people in Kenya are unreached with the gospel. That translates to about 9.6%. Whereas the largest religion in Kenya still remains Christianity at 79.8%. We can all agree that Kenya has made milestones in regard to the reaching out to the unreached people groups. This has taken some of the missionaries from the reached people groups going to the partially reached or unreached people groups. In this special report, we look at the life of a missionary in the unreached or partially reached people groups. Our main focus being on the missionaries ministering at the marginalized people groups in Marsabit County in Kenya.
We are very excited, even as a missions committee. I am the chairman of the missions committee, just to come on the ground and see what is happening. That adds a lot of flavor. Even as we sit in the committee, we are able to talk about something that we have experienced by ourselves.
Our first stop was at Matarba and Gororukesa, just a few kilometers from Marsabit town. Here, the main communities being Boranas, the Burjis and Gabras, not forgetting the dominant Muslim community in the area. We met Pastor Sebastian and his wife Lynette, and this is what they had to say about their life as young missionaries among those people groups.
For me, it was a great journey, knowing that I had graduated from school and I was working. But finally, I decided to join him, and it has been a year of blessing, of learning and knowing God more.
She has been quite supportive, actually beyond my expectation. Initially, I thought she will struggle, but sometimes the way she serves God, I think she's the one called, because she will be doing more with the children ministry.
Reverend Benedict Duba, a local missionary, says it has been a journey, though a native Borana, to reach out to his own people after being transformed by the power of the gospel. His has been to preach peace as the ever-looming war among Borana and Gabras over pasture lands continues to wreak havoc in the area.
It is a good thing to serve within your community because you understand the language, you understand the culture, you understand their challenges, their approach to the gospel, and it has been a blessing to us. We have ups and downs, and over all the challenges we have seen growth in the church, and we have seen the hand of God. The community believes that the church belongs to women and children, and seeing men in the church is a privilege. So we thank God that some men have started coming to church, but that is a great hindrance in the spread of the gospel in the community.
For Pastor Mabel, who together with her husband have served the people of Samburu for at least 13 years, it has been an exciting journey to see lives transformed as many have accepted the gospel of peace. Those who were unable to go to school because of cultural boundaries have been slowly transformed, and most of them are now serving their own community in their own professional areas.
This is our 14th year. We started in Samburu, and now we are in Rendile land. And we thank God for what He's doing in the life of His children. We are happy to see the children of God being transformed.
However, according to Mabel, it takes time to see such transformations, something that even the native missionaries agree with.
One of the key things we are doing now, we have gone out there. In Samburu, we have the New Testament. Thank God they have put the New Testament in audio form. Also in Rendile, also in Borana. So far, we are in the process of actually acquiring the audio Bibles in Gabra, in Borana, in Turukana, in Samburu, in Rendile, and we are organizing the men, we are organizing the women in their groups, and we give them the Bible, and they listen, we discuss, and we see what is happening to them.
Have you ever heard of Be Like Them to Win Them? For many of these people from the partially rich people groups, most of them would require one to learn their language and embrace their culture in order for them to accept the gospel.
They just want to see that you love them, especially the women that are neglected by their husband. They need a lot of love from us missionaries. The children, they need a lot of love from us. The youth, They need a lot of love from us. And once you show them that you love them, they will accept you into their community and even to serve them.
But it all starts with a call. All these missionaries received a call and obeyed.
The first time we came to Marsabit for a mission, just a 1-week mission, we went to the village, and as we were talking to the ladies, because in Marsabit, ladies talk to ladies and men talk to men. And these ladies were asking questions as in, who is this Jesus you are telling us about? Why did you leave him in Nairobi? Is he greater than Kibaki or something? And then I was like, So there are people who have not known Christ. There are people who have not heard about this Jesus. I felt in my heart that I'm not doing enough. And I felt an urge in my heart that I need to reach out to these women, to these children.
When there is any emergency, the phone is ringing. If a mother is giving birth and there's challenges, they call you in the mid of the night to take them to hospital because there is no vehicle in the area, no means of transport. And that is one of the challenges we are encountering, but it's also a blessing to serve.
I first came at Matarba as a CITAM camp intern to experience the mission field. And from there, I got the God's call, went back to Bible school, and by God's grace, He was faithful to take me back to Matarba to work there as a missionary pastor.
Mission field is not easy. You must have a call. You must have passion for those people, especially when you go to people who are different from you.
The first thing when you are coming to minister to a particular people group, you must just try to learn the language and then try to accept these people. Just show them love.
In Kargi, we met a missionary teacher who left her glowing career in the city to minister to the partially rich people of Rendile through her teaching career. It wasn't easy, according to her, but she accepted and packed her bags to the unknown place.
When I compare the children who are in this place and the ones I used to teach in Nairobi, they are not the same. But I feel so happy. I feel glad because at least I'm doing more than teaching.
The strides reached could not have been made by one organization or a person. There has been a real call for the people to minister to the people in the north, with different organizations partnering and coming together to bring about hope and light to the communities. Haddad Primary School, Kargi, in Marsabit County, is one of the schools, Muslim schools in particular, which has opened its doors to Christian organizations, including Christ is the Answer Ministries, Kargi, to just come and share the word of God through the pastoral program instruction.
The kind of thing that we are looking for is a mutuality where a mission station benefits from the adopting and co-adopting assemblies, and the vice versa also, so that it is not a one-way thing. We also look forward to lasting relationships.
Some have responded coming to church because there is power. Some are also praying because this is the only way they know how to pray. But their minds is locked onto Jesus Christ. And once in a while they actually speak and say, Jesus, you are Lord. Jesus, you are hearing us. And Jesus, you are answering our prayers. One good organization that we are partnered with is Bible Translation, BTL, who have really helped us these audio Bibles. We are so happy for Compassion International at Gororokesa helping us. We have Missions of Hope at Kargi and at Ontorot just coming alongside us to walk with us even as we do evangelism and discipleship.
The heat, the long distances and the looming hunger in the area has not stopped all these missionaries from reaching out to these communities with the love of Christ.
You have to learn their culture and know what is good and what is bad. You just don't go to a place and say, this culture is bad. No. Just know what they are doing and then separate what is good and what is bad. Know what you can tell them, this is good and this is bad, according to the Bible.
For these reasons, then, missionaries in marginalized areas need support, be it prayer, emotional support, material support, and any other support for the furtherance of God's kingdom.
As mission head office, we do support our pastors, our missionary pastors on the ground, because as you can tell, this is a very, very hard place and we need to stand with one another. One of the things that used to happen and now we have revived is the involvement of our assemblies, beginning with adopting assemblies. And the adopting assembly for Kargi is Woodley. Others have also their portion. But in the recent past, we also decided to help other assemblies get involved in a way, and therefore we have begun what we are calling the co-adopting. The adopting assembly will spearhead, while co-adopting ministries will give support.
According to Finishing Task Organization, in a research carried out this year, across the world there are about 218 people groups still remaining unengaged, unreached people groups, and numbering over 5.5 million souls that are still beyond the reach of the gospel. These 218 ethnic groups are perhaps the neediest of the needy, as they are still unengaged, which means no church, no missionary, no agency. No one has yet taken the responsibility to tell them about Jesus Christ. The question is, what are you doing about it as a Christian whom the Lord Jesus has said to go and make disciples of all nations?
Once you step on the mission field you are going to, just try to learn their language. That's number one. And then try to accept these people. Just show them love.
I have learned to trust in God. I have learned to depend on God and to know God. God is the only one who can give you exactly what you want. And to be here, it's not a mistake. God knew. God knew.
Faith Imani Mugo for Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Faith, for that comprehensive feature. Now, Liz Truss has resigned as the United Kingdom Prime Minister just after 45 days after being sworn into office, making her the shortest-serving Prime Minister. Now, speaking outside her Downing Street office on Thursday, Truss says she could not deliver the promise she made when she was running for Conservative leader, having lost the faith of her party.
Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Ensuring good health and promoting well-being of all people is important in building a prosperous society. On Health Check, you get informed and empowered on various medical conditions, their treatment and preventive measures.
When you ignore gum disease, then the same tooth will start to appear slightly longer.
You also get your health question answered live by our doctors in studio.
The medication she's receiving is for the nostrils.
This child should be feeding enough to gain weight.
And you do a little bit of exercise. It even helps with the breast milk.
If you feel like you have an instinct that things aren't quite where they should be for your child, the onus is on you to seek an evaluation.
This is to help you make best choices about your health and your well-being. Stay tuned for brand new episodes of Health Check with me, Grace Mutiso, every Tuesday on Hope TV. Look and live.
Welcome back. Now let's get down to business. The NGO International Film Festival has held its opening ceremony at the Trademark Hotel, where in attendance were festival participants, filmmakers and the festival partners. The NGO International Film Festival aims to collate, disseminate, as well as catalyze a knowledge-sharing culture and a harmless digital library for change makers. The festival will run for 3 days and conclude on Friday with a gala dinner.
The theme of this year's International Film Festival, NGO International Film Festival, is COVID, conflict, and climate change. Our science is enabling and empowering people to take away from the very thing that sustains us, Mother Nature. Our culture is being affected as we speak, and the NGO International Film Festival is a place for us to sit, think, and consider what the actions of many, or perhaps even a few people across the world are doing to change the culture.
In supporting the development of the film sector, UNESCO urges policymakers, government agencies, professional organizations, filmmakers, and artists to play their part in growing it, and calls to all stakeholders to contribute to the protection, enhancement, and transmission of the culture.
This year, we have received 2,071 films from 143 countries, from 1,440 organizations. So again, we have 2,071 solutions for you from 143 countries. This festival is to entertain you? No. We're not entertaining people. We're here to provoke you to become the change you want to be.
Now, Manchester United produced their finest performance under manager Erik ten Hag as they rushed Tottenham Hotspur's 2-0 at Old Trafford. Fred finally broke the deadlock 2 minutes after the second half, with Bruno Fernandes curling a precise right-foot finish to win it for the Red Devils. In another fixture, Darwin Núñez scored his first Anfield goal for Liverpool, and Alisson saved a penalty as the Reds defeated West Ham in an incident-packed encounter. And with that, we come to the tail end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV Newswatch. Have a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Murithi has been the sign language interpreter.